What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Forgo. And today we're going to talk about Valkyrie, a character that I feel like got a pretty damn good upgrade. Is it an upgrade that you're really going to use? Is really going to need? I mean, it's going to depend on you guys, but honestly, it's a pretty damn good uniform. It's much easier to play. She has much better survivability, and she doesn't get guard broken as much as what she did. And those three things really make it worth it, at least in my opinion. Now, aesthetically, I think it's a really great looking uniform. She looks awesome. I love it. Love the detail, the attention to detail that they put on it. As always, Netmarble always does a great job when it comes to the aesthetics of the characters, guys. I mean, and what they've done for this character is quite a bit. They've actually changed quite a few things for her compared to her previous uniform. So on the uniform effect, in her old uniform, she just had increased skill damage, whereas in the newer uniform, she actually gets a decreased basic damage received, which actually helps her survivability. That is nice. And on top of that, they gave her some guaranteed dodge rate, which also helps her survivability. Also, on her skills, the 5 here, I mean, it's got 40% increase of attack, right? And then the 4 skill has immunity, right? One of the things that really killed this character is the fact that she didn't have any super armor and the way that she actually had to play in this uniform. And one thing they changed is they changed this immunity to invincibility in her new uniform, which is awesome. They changed it to 5 seconds invincibility, still has the 40% attack, so no buff there. And the 5 is actually a cancelable skill, whereas the 5 before in this uniform, you couldn't cancel. You had to delay it a lot, and that really made her, more viable with a rage, which actually kind of sucked. But this uniform is actually really, really good with a damage proc. Now, I'm going to be using a rage today, guys, but she can play well with a proc. I guarantee it. I guarantee she can. Now, her third skill had a plus 1% accumulation on it, right? Already had ignore iframe, and she never really proved to be very valuable, at least in timeline. Maybe in AC, she was probably all right. And in this uniform, they actually, gave her a little bit more, 1.1. So you do gain a little extra accumulation from having this uniform. It's actually nice. And there's some other PvP viable tools in here, like the extra penetration. They added some things to her, right? She's going to be better for AC for sure. And then her passive, whenever she uses the bleeding skill, which is her second skill, right? Gives her an extra heal. She's actually got 2 built-in heals in her kit. And then her passive, which is really awesome, the ignore target dodge rate jumps up from 30% from her old uniform to 35%. And then the increased basic damage supervillains jumps up from 50% to 55% in this uniform. Not a huge, huge buff. The decreased damage received from supervillains is exactly the same, but it is a little something. But the uniform itself, guys, is much better. As I'll show you in a little bit, it is so much better than what it was. Man, is it nice. And the other thing that's really awesome about this uniform is the fact that you can actually cancel her awakened skill. You get all of the damage from this thing by canceling it immediately. Whereas in the other uniform, you can't do that. You have to delay her fifth skill, you have to delay her awakened skill, and in this uniform, you don't have to do that. You can literally go 3, awakened skill, 5, 4. You get all of that damage, all of those buffs, all at once. It is insane, guys. I mean, look at all those hits, right? I mean, granted, we got a lot of mobs, right? And then after that, it's just 3, 5, 4. Accumulation from the 3, get all the residual damage from the 5. I mean, it is awesome, guys. I mean, it really is. Just the quality of life as far as just playing with this character now is just nuts. Now, I wanted to show you guys the uniform options, but unfortunately, she is a bio sub character, so I'm going to have to buy a bio sub. I'm not spending $40 on a mythic rank up ticket. I'd rather just spend $10 on a bio sub and just slowly, gradually level up her uniform. And her uniform is only at advanced, unfortunately, because I didn't have any bio subs. And as far as uniform options, first one's Vision, which isn't too bad. And then the next one is actually Gambit, which actually is pretty decent. A lot of people are going to have both of those uniforms, which is actually really good. But yeah, I'm going to have to buy a bio sub in order to level the uniform up. How does she do in World Boss? What is the difference between this uniform and this one here? Remember, this uniform is actually a mythic. I actually have 38,000 physical attack, and you guys can look at the stats right here. Right, my ignore defense is a little shy. All right, let me go ahead and change that a little bit. And let me change this ignore defense here a little bit. There we go. We'll change this real quick. And so that, because we want to have max ignore defense. for this. I probably won't have mass ignore defense for her newest uniform. See what we got here. All right. So everything's pretty much maxed out except for her critical damage, which is at 184%, and she has 38,000 physical attack. And in her new uniform, she has 37,000 physical attack. So she actually has less physical attack, and the big reason for that is because her uniform isn't at Mythic, and she's got 46% ignore defense, and she actually has almost 10% less critical damage in this kit, right? Or in this new uniform, right? So there's some discrepancies between both of these uniforms. Now I'm just going to play the first phase of Null to show you guys the damage difference and really the things that kind of sucks about the old uniform, right? Here we go. Let's go, let's go. And it's cool because she's already got 30% ignore dodge from her passive, but she also gets, the 35% ignore dodge from her passive, which is nice. Let's go. So this thing here is really wacky to play, and you got to delay it. Once that triangle shows up, then go hit the 5 and then go into the 4. And another thing about this uniform is it's always been very, very like RNG based as far as, how you play it. I mean, you can get knocked back really, really easy in this thing. And it's pretty annoying, honestly, to play with it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, we got hit there. That sucked. And there we go. And I always hated that you had to delay the fist skill. So annoying. And delay the awaken skill. Like, both of those things are very annoying. I'm going to get caught in the tornadoes, which definitely isn't good. Here we go. And then, boom, we got knocked back. So we just lost all that damage, right? Because we don't have any super armor, which royally sucks. I'm just going to wait for the awaken skill. So the only time you actually get super armor is when you use your awaken skill because it actually has invincibility, right? Whereas in the new uniform, you have invincibility every single time in every rotation, which is nice. I mean, this thing is abysmal, guys. I mean, look at this. Like, it looks awesome. Aesthetically, it's a beautiful uniform. But, I mean, she doesn't get it done at all. Oh, man. I mean, it is nice. She's kind of in those little iframes. That does help. And as you guys can see, there is no way that, I'm going to be able to get this done. There's no way that I'm going to be able to get this clear. It's just not going to happen. It is taking way, way too long to do this. Look at this. Boom, got knocked back. We're already 2 minutes into this. You really want to finish the first phase at least within, 2 minutes. At least, usually a minute and a half is really what we strive for. And you guys can see just how bad this thing is, right? The inconveniences of not having the super armor, the fact that you're getting knocked back over and over and over, the constant delays, the RNG with the rage. It's just super, super annoying. And even though we're going to play with the rage in this next round, her damage is just way more consistent, right? I mean, this is abysmal. This is abysmal. I mean, look at it, guys. Come on. I don't need to go any further, right? This is absolutely terrible. We are down to the 40th bar. We got 9 more bars before we can finish this first phase. And we've already been doing this for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, let me show you how she plays with the new uniform. Because you're going to see a stark difference between these two. It's actually quite nutty, guys. So watch this. This is crazy. And again, remember, I'm playing with a rage, but you can easily play with a proc. Just watch how I play her, right? 3 awaken skill 5-4. The proc came a bit late, unfortunately. That does happen. We're going to hit the 2 to get a heal. There we go. And that's something else. You got 2 heals in her kit, which is awesome. It really helps her survivability. But just look at how smooth she is to play now. I didn't hit my 3rd skill, didn't get my damage accumulation, so yeah, that was pretty abysmal. That was pretty bad. Oh yeah, there we go. But I mean, look at this. Obviously, There is way, 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 way more damage in this uniform, right? No getting guard broken, no getting knocked around, which is awesome. Come on, come on. And with the proc, guys, she would be even better because that proc would trigger every time you'd be doing that. She does so many hits with that fist skill that that proc would trigger every single time. Oh, get him, girl. Get him, girl. I mean, look at this, man. And look where she's at, right? Look where she's at. We're already down to the 41st bar. How long did it take with that other uniform, right? 2 minutes and 40 seconds? And this thing did it in a minute and 15. A minute and 15, guys. I mean, what? A minute and 20, a minute and 25 seconds faster? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, I screwed up again. Sometimes I'll miss that third skill like a dude noob. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, you definitely want to hit your accumulation. Don't miss that. Oh, yeah. It's always with the iPhone, the buttons are so small. I actually prefer to play on my Android. Look at her go, guys. I mean, she can absolutely do this, right? She could get this clear. And the first phase in 2 minutes. Actually would have been a little bit better if I wouldn't have missed my accumulation a couple times. She would have done it even a little bit faster. But you can see there's a tremendous difference between the damage of these uniforms. This is an advanced ranked uniform. Her other uniform is actually a mythic. This thing is way more consistent. It has more survivability. Yeah, they took away her passive heal, right? They took away her passive heal from her old uniform, but because she's got two built-in heals in her kit, supply on demand more or less. I mean, you're always going to get those heals immediately. I can't remember which one it is. I mean, I know the second skill gives a heal, and the third skill gives a heal as well, right? So she's got two heals that give her 15% recovery. She's also got the damage reduction now. She's just way better, right? Now, whether or not you should buy this is really up to you guys. I mean, if you have the old uniform, I mean, more than likely, they're probably still going to use this uniform as a support, I would say, because other characters are going to be stronger than her. But man, I tell you what, it really is a big improvement. And I do think she's going to be a lot better in ABX with this uniform than what she was in the other uniform. And she's going to be, she's proc friendly. So you can actually play with an obelisk in ABX with her as well, which is a whole lot better than trying to use a rage. Rage is always going to be optimal, guys, for the most part, for most characters. But, I mean, maybe you don't have a rage. Maybe you just want to play with a regular obelisk. And now she can actually queue that up, which is pretty damn sick. So I'm pretty happy with Valkyrie's uniform. I think it's pretty damn awesome. I'm actually probably going to buy a Biosub and start leveling up the uniform, trying to get it up to Mythic. It's going to take a little bit of time. But let me know what you guys think about Valkyrie. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GG+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.